Hey, she's Cat.
And he's Mr. B.
Welcome to our kitchen.
Today I'm going to be making my family's shrimp perlo. What is perlo? Perlo is a rice and meat casserole that my family has been making, I guess, since the 1700s here in North Florida. In different parts of the Southeast, they call it different things. In Charleston, they call it Perlo, P-E-R-L-O-O. Where I'm from, I spell mine P-E-R-L-O, although other parts of my exhaustively large family say P-E-R-L-O-W, and some people even call it P-I-L-E-A-U, pilau, which is a form of a rice dish. But here's what goes in the shrimp perlo. Oh, I'm going to be putting on my apron just like Kimmy says, but for now I'm laying it down. Here's what's going to go in this shrimp perlo. First of all, shrimp. This is my Zacon Fresh delicious frozen shrimp, and it's already peeled, but it does have the tails on it, and I'm going to be using those tails later, and you'll see. This is 2 pounds. I'm going to use about 1.5 pounds of this today. We're going to use 4 stalks of celery, 4 branches. We're going to use a handful of parsley. We're supposed to use green bell pepper. I have frozen pepper, all different colors. This will work. It all tastes the same. Obviously, the main ingredient besides the meat is the rice. We're going to also be using some onion and some garlic and tomatoes. These are key. The recipe calls for oil. I'm going to use olive oil because it's just really great for you and it has a delicious taste. And the spices I'll be using today, besides salt, about 1 tablespoon of black peppercorns, some bay leaves, and a little bit of thyme. This is not usual in my family's recipe, but it makes it taste really good, so I'm going to be using that today. And of course, water. So that's it for what's going into this. In just a little while, I'll show you how to make it.
Ask me what I call it.
What do you call it?
I call it delicious.
Oh, I thought you called it good.
It's good.
All right, see you in a little bit.
Okay.
So we're going to put about 1 tablespoon of olive oil in the pot, which I've already done. And then we're going to put in all of the shrimp tails. If you have shells, the more the better. This is all I have because these shrimp are shelled, but they have the tails. So you just take a shrimp and pinch right there. Look at that. And the little tail comes off. So we're going to put these in the pan. Bring it down a little bit. We're also going to add onion. That's 1 cup of onion. 1 more tail. 1/2 cup of celery. And 1 teaspoon of salt. And now what I'm going to do is cook these for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set the timer until the shells become spotty. So I'll bring you back in 10 minutes and you can you see in the pot? So you'll see what these look like in about 10 minutes. This is a garlic press. This is 1/2 of a gigantic garlic. I want to use 2 cloves of garlic, but instead I'm using 1 gigantic one. One I've already put through the press, but I thought I'd show you how I do it. So this is the second half. I'm going to put it in here. Has like a little foot that goes on top of it. Can you see? And then you need 2 hands, and you just
And muscles.
press. See how that comes out? And then just scrape it off. And that, the more surface you have on your garlic, the more flavor you will have. So that right there will be the equivalent of 2 cloves of garlic chopped up really fine. This is what it looks like when the shrimp shells are cooked about 7 minutes. See how they have little spots on them? They look kind of funny. So that's what it looks like. Now we're going to go ahead and make our fish stock, or in this case our shrimp stock. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of peppercorns, a handful of parsley. We don't have to chop it up because we're just going to cook this and then strain it when we're done. And this is 4 cups of water. And to make this more shrimpy, this is the shrimp thawing water because I don't have a lot of shells. I want it to have more fish flavor. So that's it. I'm going to bring it to a boil and I'll be back in a few minutes. All right, come on up in here. This water is now coming to a boil. Thing I forgot to put in there were 2 bay leaves, so let's put them in now. Give them a stir. We're going to cover this and bring it down to a simmer and let it wait for 30 minutes. There we go. Did you hear that? That means that our fish stock, or in this case shrimp stock, is done. So I'm going to turn this off for a minute, and we're going to strain it through this fine strainer so I'll get the fish stock I need. So here we go. I'm going to do it this way, sorry.
Your cameraman was on the wrong side.
Sorry. Okay. Now, you rinse this, you stay over there and just look at that. I'm going to rinse the pot out because I'm going to use this to cook in. All right. So, pardon me. Now we're going to look here. This is what we do with this. We press this really good and get all the juices out. See how that goes? By the way, this meal takes about an hour and 25 minutes to cook and about 15 minutes to prep. So you're looking at, I don't know, hour and 40 minutes. Okay, I'm going to set this aside.
Smells delicious.
Smells delicious. Okay, what we're going to do now is go around the pan. Now look, I don't want them looking in my pan because it has a burn mark in it. But it's not a real burn mark. It's just a
Stain.
It's like a stain that I can't get out.
Everybody's
1,
got stain.
2,
We don't care.
3, 4. That's 4 tablespoons approximately of oil. And we're going to put this on a high temperature to bring it up to heat. And as soon as it comes up to heat, we're going to put these vegetables in it. Now, more true confessions. You can look at me. More true confessions. You might notice that this pot is bigger. That's because I wasn't paying attention. The onions and celery and salt and shrimp tails burned.
Oh no!
So I had to save the shrimp tails, come up with more celery and onion. I only had 1 onion, so this calls for 2 cups of onion. So if you'll look here, I had to use some of this, so this is really not a cup of onion, but it's going to work because come back to me, because you can make it work. When you mess up in the kitchen like everybody else does, it's okay.
I never do.
All right, let's go back down and look. What we're going to put in here is, you hear it the sizzle? That's our onion.
It's squizzling.
These are the bell peppers. It's supposed to be green bell pepper, but remember I had mixed bell peppers in the freezer. And the remainder of the celery.
We did not discriminate with the peppers.
Never. And then a ½ teaspoon of salt goes in there. And we're going to stir this around for about 5 minutes. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Well, there's our timer, and I've been watching this very carefully so I didn't burn it. Can you see the beautiful vegetables? Now what we're going to do is stir in our garlic. That's the pressed garlic. Remember I showed you that earlier? So get that in there and stir it around. Get it all. Boy, that smells good. All right.
Yes, it does.
Now we're going to put in our rice. I have 2 cups of rice and a teaspoon. What is that? No, it's a teaspoon of thyme. That's right. And this is a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper. Cayenne pepper. And we're going to stir that around till the rice gets nice and glossy with the oil. Just a couple of minutes. Oh man, doesn't that smell good?
That was like out of this world.
Oh, it's awesome. Okay, that's good. See, it's all shiny with the oil. And now we're going to put in, I'm going to make sure it's high enough. We're going to put in all of the tomatoes and their juice. That's 1 can of diced tomatoes. And we're going to put in 3 cups of this broth.
It's not a full cup.
I know. 3, and I'm going to get another ½ cup because I didn't get a full cup any of those times. So that's about 3 full cups. We're just going to have to discard the rest of this unless you have a way to save it, because it is really savory and delicious. All right, we're going to bring this to a boil. And as soon as it comes to a boil, we're going to turn it down to simmer. And just like any rice, we're going to cook it for 20 minutes. So you see it starting to boil?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we're going to bring it up a little more. Little more. Oh my, it's going to be
that
good.
smells wonderful. Can we just eat that?
Mm-mm.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to save this in case I need any more broth, but I'm probably not going to use it. Just if I need to top it off in the end. Come on, baby. Come on. You can come all the way to a good boil. Okay, we're going to call that a boil. See, it's nice and active now. So we're going to put a lid on it. We're going to turn it to low. Is this the right side? Yeah, that's low. And we're going to set the timer for 20 minutes. See you in 20 minutes. And it's going to be awesome because in 20 minutes we're going to stir in the raw shrimp and wait for 5 more minutes with it off the heat. And then our dinner will be ready.
Can't wait.
Our rice is done. And so what I'm going to do is give this a little quick stir. And then I'm going to put the shrimp in. And we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes off the eye in the heat. Maybe on the heat, low heat, for 5 minutes just for the shrimp to cook. So I'm going to stir the shrimp in. Because you don't want to ever cook shrimp very long, it'll get tough. And this is going to be tender and delicious. You don't want to stir it too much because I don't want to break the rice up. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on and we're going to set the timer for 5 minutes. I ended up cooking this 10 minutes because these shrimp weren't ready, but you can see they are ready now. They're pink. Let me just show you my fingers. They're pink, they're firm, they're not translucent at all, so they're ready to eat. And I'm going to go ahead and help our plates. So here's our dinner all ready to go. It looks luscious, and I wish you were here to eat it with us.
It looks delicious.
Thanks, honey. Y'all have a great evening, and we're going to eat, and we'll say goodbye in just a minute. We finished our dinner and it was delicious. I forgot to tell you that I say meat and rice casserole, but meat or protein. So shrimp. There's also chicken perlo, pork perlo, shrimp perlo. So I'll make some of those for you sometime too. Tonight we served this shrimp perlo with LeSueur peas. That little bit of sweet was really great with it. And let me show you what's left. Come on down here to the pot. This is what it looks like. We have that much left. We made a lot. So this is something that's great for leftovers. But you see how great the shrimp looks? It just looks wonderful. So we're really looking forward to this. And in Florida, we do have fresh shrimp. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I love the Zaycon shrimp better because it's easy. It's already cleaned. It's peeled. It has the tails. I use it for so many different things. So this is not a sponsored video, but I really love Zaycon Fresh. Link below.
And it is wild caught.
It is
shrimp.
wild caught shrimp, yep.
So you can have coconut shrimps and you know, all kinds of shrimp.
Okay.
All right.
That wraps up our meal for tonight. We certainly hope you enjoyed it.
So come on back to our kitchen real soon.
Bye.